Hey guys, Ramsey here. Welcome to another video. Very excited about today's video because it is going to be the second half of the Oud video that I did the other day, which was the original video was on what I called indie Ouds or real Ouds, brands that have either come out and said they use real Oud or brands that are known for using real Oud like Rijal, Bortnikov, Peter Carter's Centauri perfumes, stuff like that. Those kind of indie, niche, artisanal, Ensar Oud, those kind of houses were the ones that I really wanted to kind of highlight, if you will. And in the original video, because it's impossible to rank Ouds that use stuff like norlimbanol, or there are other compounds that are used. I did an entire, this is not a top 10 video on synthetics. You can go check it out. But, the houses who claim that they use real Oud, like, for example, I included some Frederick Malls, the Night and the Moon, they claim to use real Oud. Dawn, they claim to use real Oud. Those kind of houses made the original video of this. Round two is going to be the houses who are more designer-esque, or what I'm going to call Western Oud, okay? So first things first, I don't want to get sued by saying there's no real Oud in any of these. These fragrances feel more Western Oud style to me, to my nose. It's my opinion. I'm not saying there's not a drop of real Oud in here, because there may be, but it's not going to be like Ensar or Rijal or Bortnikov, where it's more the real thing, or Agar Aura. Let's say if there is a real drop of Oud in this, most of it smells like it's probably the synthetic component. And I'm just going to say that I don't necessarily take that as a bad thing. My wife's favorite fragrance on me is in this list. It is a list that is, made up of 60 fragrances. This is going to be a top 60. I put a lot of time and effort into this. I hope you guys appreciate it. There's a lot of different types of fragrances in here. There's some fragrances that are Oud heavy. Oud is the main note. There's some fragrances where Oud is a small component of the entire overall picture, if you will, okay? So keep that in mind when I'm going through this. These are just my opinion of, the ones that I like to wear. These are my favorite Western Oud fragrances that I prefer to wear. Okay, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for the ones at the top, but these are the ones that, have either changed my experience in the fragrance game, or I have a personal connection with them, or something like that. So everyone's opinions are different. I'm not saying my number one is better than your number 50, or whatever you want to call it. This is just a fun way to talk about a lot of perfumes and a lot of fragrances, and kind of get what I'm wearing, what I'm interested in. There's some decants in here that I plan on buying, all that good stuff. So let's do scent of the day. Today's scent of the day is a very special fragrance, and it is probably, it's days like today when I wear stuff like this that I really question why I go through the whole rigmarole of trying to smell all this new stuff, and, why I try to get into these niche houses that they just pop up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they've got 50 fragrances, and I try to smell them all, and, why don't I just wear stuff like this? Today's scent of the day is Guerlain's Bleue Eau de Toilette. And let me tell you, the best line, or the best one-liner ever, was associated with this fragrance when Jacques Guerlain basically said that he felt something so strongly that he had to put it in a perfume. He couldn't put it into words. And if that doesn't summarize the reason why many people like me love perfume, I don't know what will. Le Bleue, if you've never smelled it, is an absolute revelation. It does have this overall sadness feel to it, this blue, right before the sun goes down, when in the darkness isn't yet, it's not full black, it's not full dark, but it's still kind of purple in color. It has that purple feel to it. One of the best heliotrope fragrances I've ever smelled, and I do think it's a heliotrope fragrance. with just, I mean, lovely carnation, lovely iris, lovely violet. That violet color really pops in my mind when I wear this. I'll try to do a full review of this one day, but God, I don't know if I have the words, honestly. If Jacques Guerlain didn't have the words, I sure as hell don't have the words. But this is a top 60, so let's get started or we'll be here 12 hours. First of all, my least favorite house on the face of the planet. I absolutely despise this house and everything that they stand for. I hate this fragrance. And what makes it even worse is it's $360. It just pisses me off to no end. It's Initio's Oud for Greatness. If there was a way for them to be completely out of the list and, you know, be lower than 60, I would put it there. I hate this stuff, man. I despise this fragrance and their sister house, Parfums de Marly. I'm not a big fan of. But this is lavender, saffron, nutmeg, oud, patchouli, and musk, but it just smells like cheap. You talk about amber woods. It just smells like cheap amber woods to me. This doesn't smell anything like oud. And the fact that they charge $360 or $320 or $300 or whatever it is, $280, I don't even know what the price is. I don't care. I just know it's way overpriced. And I'm kind of pissed off at myself that I bought this 15 ml decant instead of, you know, going for something a little bit smaller. I'm mad I have all this juice. Now I have to wear it. Okay, next on the list, number 59. We have a fragrance I wore to bed last night for the first time. And I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't get much oud from it, but I'm glad to have it because it is discontinued according to the algorithms, according to, you know, Parfumo or whatever it is, Parfumo's algorithm. And this is Salvatore Ferragamo's Homme Oud. Nice bottle. I like the twist. I like the twist to the bottle. You can find this 100 ml bottle on fragrancebuy.ca for like $40, $44 still. For a discontinued fragrance, that's pretty good value. There's no notes in Parfumo, but what I get, or when I wore it to bed last night, is I almost got this like boozy, ambery quality. So it's kind of boozy, ambery, woody. If there is oud in here, it's a big time designer-esque oud. I like it. I mean, I'm probably too far in my journey to be wearing stuff like this, honestly, but I don't mind. Sometimes I like wearing stuff like this. You know, you just kind of take the thought out of it. You know, I'm not trying to write a dissertation on the perfume I'm wearing that day. I just want to put something on and smell nice for the masses. It's not bad. Salvatore Ferragamo's Homme Oud. Okay, next on the list, we have a Rasasi. And number 58, we have a fragrance called Rasasi's Shuhrah Pour Homme. And Shuhrah Pour Homme is a little bit of a crazy fragrance. If you've never smelled it, you'll be taken aback by it because it has this rosy, so there's rose and freesia and tomato leaf in the top. Tomato leaf is a very interesting note. You don't see very much tomato leaf. And sandalwood, cedarwood, jasmine in the heart, amber, musk, oak moss, oud, and leather. And that oud has this smoky quality to it. Almost like you're smelling a cigarette burning or something, you know, incense burning. There's this smoky quality to the oud in the base. And you know what? For $30 or whatever the hell this goes for, I mean, I have to hand it to the House of Rasasi. You could definitely buy worse fragrances than this for $30. It's not my favorite, as you can see. It's not something I reach for very often. When you have a big collection, these just kind of get put aside. But I'll wear it to bed sometimes, and I'm always semi-impressed. It's not bad. I'm a fan of these Middle Eastern, houses. I think they could be so much more than they are. You know what I mean? They have the chance to be so much more than they are, let's say. So smoky. The problem with this is that it's sweet. And the sweetness does bother me a little bit. So next on the list, sorry, I got a big list here. Number 57 is going to be Amouroud Oud. This is the only Amouroud Oud in my tobacco, and it's actually called Oud Tabac. So Oud is in the name, and it says the Perfumer's Workshop right there on the top. They're the ones that make this Amouroud Oud line. And you know what? For $100, it's not bad. The problem is I wanted a Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille replacement, and I figured, you know what? I'd take a couple chances on this. So for half the price of Tobacco Vanille, I got this, and I got Frank Bachlet's Tobacco. Do they do the job? Yes. Should I have just bought Tobacco Vanille? Yes, I probably should have. But, you know, it's not a bad fragrance. Oud Tabac, it's got saffron, ginger, coriander, heliotrope in the top, pipe tobacco, oud, frankincense, amber woods in the base, in the heart, with bourbon, vanilla, musk, nucta, cypress, and cistus in the base. And so, if you've ever thought, man, I really wish Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille had a little frankincense, it is here. The problem is the amber woods are amped up. It doesn't have that dried fruit accord. You know, I don't think Tobacco Vanille has any oud like this does, so it does do a little different thing, but it does give this impression of Tobacco Vanille, but the materials don't smell as high quality to me. I should have just bought Tobacco Vanille, but hey, lesson learned. Okay, next on the list, we've got a Philipp Plein fragrance that came out a couple years ago. If you've never seen the advertisement for Philipp Plein, you need to go check it out. It is absolutely hilarious. But this is called No Limits. And the $1 trillion black credit card. Swipe me, baby. Philipp Plein No Limits from 2020 is this leathery, fresh, very strange fragrance, actually, because it has, listen to this note listing, aquatic notes with bergamot and ginger, but it's nowhere near an aquatic fragrance. It actually smells like you're smelling Nasomato's Pardon or Gucci Guilty Absolute, okay? But with aquatic notes in the top. Imagine the insanity. Black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, and star anise in the mid. Dark chocolate, bourbon, vanilla, frankincense, black amber, wood, cedar wood, patchouli, oud, and leather in the base. So it kind of feels like this designer take on Gucci Guilty Absolute. It was made by Alberto Morillas, who I believe also made Gucci Guilty Absolute. And, you know, it's not a bad fragrance. It is, it's not. I mean, it's not a good fragrance, I don't think, but it's not a bad fragrance. For $50 at discounters, you could do a lot worse. It's just, it's okay. You know, that's the thing, is it's okay. It's like a designer version of Gucci Guilty Absolute, and I just want to wear Gucci Guilty Absolute, so I almost never wear this, but I will. I'll force myself to wear it and do a review of it one day. So that is Philipp Plein's No Limits at number, let's see, what is that? Philipp Plein No Limits, number 56. Number 55 is going to be a Guerlain. And Guerlain recently released a trio of ouds. One was called Cherry Oud, one was called Oud Nude, and the other was called Oud Khôl, K-H-O-L, Oud Khôl. And I did a full review on this, or an initial impression, and actually the video of Oud Khôl, there's an amazing unboxing where I unboxed vintage fragrances from Italy. I should have done a separate video of that unboxing, but if you get a chance, go watch my Guerlain Oud Khôl video. There's a beautiful unboxing in the beginning with a very rare 1960s Chanel Eau de Cologne that pops up in that, along with many other amazing gems. But this is praline, leathery notes, oud, oak moss, and aldehydes. And, you know, it kind of smells like this shameful version of Abbey Rouge Dress Code. Dress Code was a flanker of Abbey Rouge. And it's a flanker I liked. I like Dress Code, especially in the cold. It feels really, it is a little bit sweet. It's a little designer, but you know what? I like it. It's probably the only it's the only fragrance that has a praline note I can say I like. And this has this very strange oud praline note that just seems so cheap and disgusting. I'm shocked I actually put it as high on this list as I did. So number 55, Guerlain's Oud Khôl. Can't get much lower than that. And I don't think Guerlain's using real oud. They never claim. None of these houses I've heard claim that they do. You know, so that's why they're on the list. But if there is a house out there that uses real oud, I would love for you guys to leave a comment if you see this video and it offends you, And please say, hey, wait a minute, we use real oud. And I'll put a disclaimer on the video or something. But until further time, I'm going to go forward with the assumption that these are not real oud fragrances. They are, you know, really there should be a different name. That's what I think. I think fragrances that don't use real oud shouldn't be allowed to call themselves oud. They should have their own name, you know. They should just have an industry standard name that's different from oud. They're still good fragrances. I like them. They're just not oud. They're completely different than when you smell something like this. You know, when you smell something like this, you'll know it's oud. That's real oud. And, you know, ditto for the Bortnikovs, ditto for the Ensar Ouds. It's just, these type of fragrances should have their own name. But that's something we should think about as a community. All right, number 54. Number 54 is an Arabian Oud fragrance. Actually, someone asked me the other day, hey, have you ever smelled Arabian Oud? I said no, and actually I did, because I have this decant. It's the only one I've ever smelled, and it's like this fresh floral oud, woody fresh floral. Like, you ever heard of the categorization of like a woody floral musk? This is like a woody floral musk oud, okay? And it's called Kashmir. And you know what? It is posh. It is nice. If you watch my Russian Adam interview that we did, where we discussed Achilleria Blossom, I wore this for that interview because it was the only fresh oud I had to kind of compare it to Achilleria Blossom. And it's not bad. It's kind of this fruity, because there's plum and blackcurrant with Japanese yuzu. I like the opening. The opening is... it is a little bit unique. There's oud and rose and jasmine in the heart with white musk, more oud and vanilla, but it's a very fresh, very clean oud. You know, I don't get much skank from that at all. So if you don't like skanky ouds, check out Kashmir. All right, next on the list, and there's going to be a bunch of Rojas coming up and a bunch of Amouages, because those are brands I have a lot of oud bottles in, and I don't think they use real oud. I've never heard them claim to use real oud. So there's a bunch of Rojas and a bunch of Amouages coming up, and a couple other brands as well. But this is the first Roja on the list at number 53, and it is Musk Oud. Okay, so Musk Oud, and you can see I've got my little Discovery atomizer here. I'm glad I didn't buy a full bottle of this, because I would have been very disappointed with this. See how the juice kind of looks a little bit watery? That's how the fragrance comes across as. It comes across as a very watery, you know, it's beautiful for like an hour or two, and then it just falls apart. The longevity on this is one of the worst ever, and for the price, it's unbelievable. It's too bad this doesn't last longer, because the first hour or two really is beautiful, but it just, I mean, you'd have to reapply every couple hours. And for the price that they're asking, that's a tough ask. So Musk Oud for me is probably the worst of the original trio Oud, Amber Oud, and then Musk Oud. So you'll see where the others land very soon. But Musk Oud is May Rose, Jasmine, Ylang Ylang, Bergamot, Lemon, Ambrette, Birch, Oud, Labdanum, Leather, Musk, Nutmeg, Oak Moss, Precious Woods, Sandalwood, Tonka Bean, Vanilla, and Patchouli. Again, not a bad fragrance. It's kind of that oriental take on oud. It's just, you expect more at this price point. Speaking of expecting more at this price point, this is a fragrance that I saw on eBay the other day for $1,000, and I was like, oh God. You know, this is probably not even worth the retail price I bought it for 4 years ago or whatever it was. This is a Creed, and it's not bad. It's just, again, expecting more. The oud in it will remind you a little bit of Royal Oud, which is one of my favorite ouds and very close to the top of this list. But it's a little bit different, and this one is a Harrods exclusive. It's very rare. I think it's long discontinued, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's called Millésime 1849. So you can see that Harrods green. And so Millésime 1849 is the, you know, it was one of the early trends back in 2013 to just stick oud in a fragrance, make it a Harrods exclusive, and charge double the price. And so this is and granted, it's a creed, so it's very easy to wear. Like when I want to wear a oud fragrance in the summer, this is a contender. But so is Royal Oud, and I love Royal Oud much more. This is Calabrian bergamot, jasmine, patchouli, cedar, ylang ylang, bourbon vanilla, oud, sandalwood, and musk. And it really does come across as very powdery. For some reason, there's a big powdery aspect to this fragrance. It's powdery and floral. And that, even though the oud gives you hints of Royal Oud, I don't know who the perfumer is here, so I'm not sure how, it came across smelling a bit like a Julian Rascanet creation, but there you have it. Not bad, but definitely don't pay big money for it. Okay, next on the list, we've got a Rasasi. And this is not a bad one if you want a just out and out barnyard oud fragrance and you don't want to spend the money on, let's say, the night or something crazy like that. You don't want to spend big money on real oud. This is a good way to just get an idea of what those type of fragrances smell like. This is called Faqat le Rijal, which I think means just for men, if I'm not mistaken. And so I wore this to work the other day, believe it or not, because there is this element of sweetness to it. It's not just skanky oud. There's this sweet patchouli and saffron, which kind of comes through with touches of sandalwood and leather and musk in the base, but it's really that barnyard oud that comes through heavily in the first hour or two, and then it settles down to a little sweeter take on patchouli with some spice, cardamom. It's not bad, I think you can find a 50 ml bottle of this on fragrancebuy.ca right now for like $22 or something. I mean, you want to experience what oud smells like? Here you go. Faqat le Rijal. I'll do a full review one day soon. Okay, next on the list, we've got a John Varvatos perfume. Sorry, not yet. We have a Aramis perfume. So at number 50 is a fragrance that Armando very kindly sent me this partial bottle, and I've worn it to bed a couple times, and it's not bad. It has a very unique note in here called saffron, what the hell is it called? I think it's called Saffron Blossom. Aramis Calligraphy. I can't remember everything, Callig. Here we go. 2012 it came out. This is a decade old. Discontinued, by the way. This is a discontinued gem. And Saffron Blossom is what it's called. And it really gives off this weird, very strange floral saffron-like smell with rose absolute, myrrh, lemon in the top with cinnamon, and then a base of musk, patchouli, amber, and oud. It's not bad. It's Aramis's attempt to kind of enter the Middle Eastern market, if you will. I like it. I think I would like to smell the saffron, the Perfume Calligraphy saffron version one day, but this is the only one I've smelled so far, and it's not bad. Would I buy it? No, I don't think I'd buy it, but I like it. I will wear it since it's in my collection. It will get worn. So that is number 50, Aramis Perfume Calligraphy. From 2012. Okay, now John Varvatos. At 49, it's the original John Varvatos from 2004. And I got this when they went through their bankruptcy. This is 125 mil. Look at that sticker. 125 mil. Can I fix you without you coming all the way off? Probably not. Probably just ruined it. Whatever. Okay, so John Varvatos. There you go. I can't even put it on straight. So this is now, the older bottles say EA Elizabeth Arden. I think now it's Revlon that does them, but I don't know if there's, I don't know if there's reform issues or anything like that to worry about or not. But spicy and woody, there's a very interesting note of dates and tamarind leaves, and there's this black leather. If you look at the black leather around the bottle, it'll kind of give you an idea. This black leathery oud in the base, ambery oud. It's a good, I like this fragrance a lot. The problem is you got to spray it every 4 hours. Longevity is awful, but 125 mil for 20 bucks I paid. I mean, hell, spray away, you know? Nothing wrong with spraying away when you get a lot of juice for just a little money. Okay, so that was number 49. Number 48 is going to be a fragrance that I struggled with. This easily could have been at the very bottom of the list, okay? Although it's grown on me just a bit, okay? And this is an example of why I don't sell fragrances. I think it's discontinued, but I don't know. It says it's still available for purchase, but I've never seen it on the Histoires de Parfum website. So coming in at number 48, this is called Rare Petroleum. Now, again, I don't know if Histoires de Parfum uses real oud. My guess is at a retail price of 140 bucks or whatever this was, they're probably not using real oud, but I don't know that. So I'm guessing. So again, if you use real oud Histoires de Parfum, just leave me a message and I will make a correction on the video. So Histoires de Parfum, Rare Petroleum. And the reason that this one is so challenging to me is it's this leathery animalic fragrance, which you would think I would love. The problem is it opens up with this aldehydic, almost like this fish-like smell, because there's oud and aldehydes. And the oud and aldehydes mix with this civet note, and it's a pretty challenging civet note. And that civet note, some reason, gives off this fish-like accord that is really challenging to me. I struggle with this one, but I will continue to wear it, and we'll do a full review at some point. I'll force myself to wear this. So, Rare Editions Rare Petroleum by Histoires de Parfum comes in at number 48. Okay, number 47, we've got a Guerlain, and this beats out Oud Khôl, which I thought was just complete shite. We've got... Do we have a Guerlain, or did I mess up? Let's see. Yep, we do. We've got a Guerlain. Number 48 is Santal Royale. Sorry, 47. Sorry, I can't keep up with my own list here. 48 was Rare Petroleum. 47 is Santal Royale. So, I was worried I was going to hate this, and I don't hate it, luckily. I actually enjoy it. To an extent. It's not something that I would just go for and reach for regularly, but when the mood hits me, it's not a bad fragrance. It's really harsh, really chemically. It's Guerlain's attempt to enter that Middle Eastern market I was just talking about that Aramis tried to do a couple years before this. And it's neroli jasmine in the top with peach, rose, and cinnamon in the heart, sandalwood, leather, amber, oud, and musk in the base. And so, you know, it's okay. It's just, if you're reading the name Santal Royale and you're expecting a beautiful sandalwood, you're not going to find it. Or you're not going to find it until you hit about the 4-hour mark, when that sandalwood starts to come out in the late dry down. Mostly you're going to have to put up with the rose oud combo. Okay, next on the list we have a Bentley fragrance. Number 46 is Bentley for Men Absolute. And so there's two types of bottles. One that looks like mine, that's all black. And then the other type of bottle is one that looks like it has this gold little bit around the top. They're both the same, just different parts of the world, marketed for different parts of the world. Smoky and woody, and it was made by Michel Almerac at Robertet, and he basically also created Gucci Pour Homme 1 from 2003, so these smell very similar. I still prefer Gucci Pour Homme 1. The ingredients smell higher quality. This has oud in it, and the Gucci Pour Homme 1 doesn't list an oud note. But you know what? There's this extremely dry, smoky, incensey, papyrus-like feel. So imagine, you know, burning papyrus and watching the smoke fill the air. There's a little bit of that with this amberiness in the base. Great fragrance for whatever you can get this for now, 30 bucks. Bentley for Men, Absolute. Definitely the best car brand out there. best car brand fragrances, I should say, not the best car brand. Number 45, and this could have been higher, but there's another fragrance that is very similar to this that I like more. But man, if you don't want to drop the money on the fragrance we're going to get to, that's much, much higher in the list. This is a great way to dive into this Oud Accord if you never have, for very little money. Faqat le Rijal is one, and this is the other one. It's called Jacques Bogart One Man Show Oud Edition. This does not play, okay? I'll just tell you that right now. This just goes, oh, you wanted Oud, huh? Well, here's some Oud, and that's it. You know, there's a little bit of red thyme. There's a little bit of bergamot, which I don't get. There's a little bit of galbanum, which I don't really get. And there's Oud and papyrus and leather and patchouli and spices. And I do get some of those. It's just very dry, smoky, animalic. I think it's a great replacement for some much higher priced Oud fragrances, which we'll get to later on. So, One Man Show Oud Edition, bang for the buck, maybe one of the best Oud fragrances out there. Okay, next on the list, we've got number 44. And this is a discontinued Gucci, but don't go spend big money on it. If you can get it for $100 or less, maybe. But don't go spend $150 or $180 or something on it. It's not worth it. This is Gucci Intense Oud. Cool bottle, though. Cool bottle. It's got Gucci right there on the cap. And Intense Oud is supposed to live up to the name Intense Oud. And does it live up to the name of Intense Oud? It's not bad. It's got this raspberry pear saffron opening with Bulgarian rose, orange blossom in the heart, and patchouli amber musk and Oud in the base. A little bit of MFK's Oud is in here, which came out a couple years before this. You know, maybe a touch of Black Afghano snuck in here, but it's its own thing. It's designer-esque, very designer-esque, and I can see why it's so popular. It's top 57 in unisex fragrances according to Parfumo, so it is still very popular even though it's discontinued. All right, next on the list we've got number 43, and this is called St. Dupont Perfect Tobacco. It should be called Perfect Oud because I think it's a great designer Oud fragrance in my opinion. And it's cinnamon and ginger with rose and tobacco and a base of vanilla and Oud. And the only thing holding it back is the sweetness. There is a lot of sweetness from the vanilla, but it's a Julian Rasquinet, and you can kind of sense his DNA on this. It's a, he really makes a beautiful Middle Eastern fragrance. He kind of learned the style when he went to live in Dubai for a while, a decade ago or whatever it was. There was it's one of the only places in the world where there are not enough perfumers. They need more perfumers in that part of the world. So he kind of went and took advantage of that and learned this style. And I really like the way he does it. You know, it's very unique. And this is a good fragrance. Even though it's sweet, it has some spices and the Oud note in the base for a $90 fragrance or whatever it is for 100 ml. I think it's well worth it. So I'll do a review on that soon, I hope. And then, speaking of decants, this decant was sent to me probably like a year ago now by Rich Mitch. I haven't gotten around to talking about it on the channel, but I will very soon. Number 42 is called Carner Queers. So Carner Queers is a leather scent. It's woody and spicy and leathery and oudy. And the reason I like this, the reason it's ahead of Perfect Tobacco is Perfect Tobacco is more mainstream. This is a little bit more interesting. I like the House of Carner. I'm really liking what I'm smelling. And I've got some other samples I'll hopefully be talking about on the channel soon. It's just a matter of finding time. There's violet, Australian sandalwood, Texas cedar, Indonesian patchouli, Venezuelan tonka bean, Cistus absolute, musk oud, Indonesian cypriol. I love cypriol. Amber and Leather. Great little one-off fragrance no one talks about. All right, let me put you back. Don't fall, don't fall. Man, I'll tell you what, Bleue is just so stunning. Oh, what a perfume, man. And, you know, when I wear stuff like that, I'm just like, why? Why do I bother with all this other crap? Okay, number 41, we've got a YSL. And this is called M7 Oud Absolute. So, Oud Absolute is... Oud Absolute is what ended up coming out of when M7 got discontinued, and they ended up bringing it back. This is what they brought back. So M7 is going to be much higher on the list because it's going to be one of my favorite ouds, actually. Sorry, I just have to respond to this real quick. Okay, so I still think this is a really good fragrance. They kind of changed the M7 DNA a little bit. There isn't this soda cola vibe opening that you get with the original M7, which I really like. That's one of my favorite parts of the fragrance. But this is still a really good perfume. They added some stuff to it, and so you can see some of the stuff that they added. I think myrrh was one of the biggest additions, and the myrrh is really beautiful. I love myrrh in a perfume, so I don't have a problem with this. They also added this mineral-like opening. So the opening comes across a little different. It lost the cola vibe I like so much, and it adds this mineral touch, which I don't like so much, but... the rosemary, oud, patchouli, vetiver, amber, musk, labdanum, and myrrh in the heart and the base of the fragrance is beautiful. And these bottles are getting harder and harder to find. I think I paid like 30 bucks for this bottle, you know, 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Now they're going for $80, $90, $100. And so rumor is that you can still find these at the YSL boutiques, but you have to ask for them. They're like hidden under the counter. They don't display them. So that's M7. Oud Absolute. Okay, next on the list is going to be a Dior. And again, early impression or video coming up on this pretty soon, I hope. This is number 40, and this is Oud Ispahan. Okay, so Oud Ispahan is supposedly the feminine counterpart to Leather Oud, which is going to be much, much higher on the list. And this is labdanum, patchouli, oud, rose, and sandalwood. The florals are kind of amped up here. The patchouli has this green, you know, camphor-like patchouli vibe. You know, I really like it. I've had a chance to wear it to bed once, and it is good. I wouldn't pay Dior what they were asking for. Maybe a decade ago when this came out in 2012, it was revolutionary, and it was the best oud and all this stuff. But a decade later, now that we've been given so much by so many of these other brands, Russian Atom, Aris Ladores, you know, Bortnikov's, Dmitry Bortnikov's Bortnikov brand, just all these, you know, Ensar Oud, all these amazing brands that use real oud. It's hard to give Dior 350 bucks for this. It just really is. Is it a good fragrance? Yes. Would I wear it and enjoy it? Absolutely. Would I give them what they want for it? No. Okay, next on the list we have another Roja. And I do have a full review of this one on the channel, actually. It's a discontinued Roja that came out in 2016, and it's called Eau the Exclusive Parfum. So Roja's Eau the Exclusive Parfum is, and you can see it's a good, I put a dent in this. I like this. I really do. It's raspberry, violet, jasmine from grass, geranium, May rose, orange blossom, bergamot, LME, pink pepper, saffron, cypriol, patchouli, oak moss, cedarwood, cashmere wood, amyris, sandalwood, oud, vanilla, birch, labdanum, leather, ambergris, and musk. And so it's got the usual enormous note breakdown by Roja. It's got his usual, I would say, Middle Eastern DNA in the base. And you know what? It reminds me a little bit of Frederick Maull's The Moon, which, interestingly enough, this came first. Normally, I think of as Roja being a house that kind of copies other houses. I do love my Rojas, you can see. I've got a bunch of them there. I've got some back here. So I'm not hating on the house, but I do kind of give them a hard time because so much of what they put out is not unique. This was unique for the time, so I got to kind of give it to them. Oh, the exclusive Parfum. I'm going to turn the light on real quick because the video is going to be getting dark soon. Hang on one moment. Not that that'll help any, but at least I can say I tried. Okay, next on the list. Next on the list, we've got a Dunhill fragrance, and most people don't even realize there's oud in this, but I love this perfume. I think it's a genius fragrance. I think it's one of Carlos Benaim's best. I mean, it's not as good as Polo Green. That's his best fragrance, but this is damn good. This is called Dunhill's Icon, and this doesn't get enough love. I love this stuff, man. For the warm weather or for a business meeting, it's so posh. It has probably one of my favorite executions of neroli. There's neroli absolute, petit grand, black pepper, Italian bergamot, provincial lavender, sage, cardamom, juniper, iris, oud, vetiver, leather, and oak moss. And this is actually the reason I never bought a bottle of Terre de Hermes Eau de Toilette. Is I actually got this and wore it and loved it. And, you know, I was like, why should I buy Terre? This does the vetiver thing, the peppery vetiver. But this has a beautiful iris note, and it's got that oud, and I think it's totally underrated. I think it's kind of brought Dunhill back to the 21st century. Brought them forward in time. They were struggling before that. Okay, next on the list, we've got number 37, and this is actually a... this is my only full bottle of Zoologist, and this is called Moth. Now, Moth is a very strange fragrance. It's also a fragrance that goes through lots of transitions. It's extremely complex. It came out in 2018, and look at the color of the juice. See how that has that smoky gray to it? So it opens up with spices, peppery, cinnamon, clove, cumin, nutmeg, saffron, and lemon. And the heart, so you'll think it's kind of one thing once it gets started, and then it changes on you. Almost like, you know, I know moths don't go through this, but imagine like, imagine a caterpillar going through to a butterfly. Maybe some moths have that caterpillar to moth transformation. I don't know, honestly. But imagine that transformation of a caterpillar to a butterfly. And then it turns into this floral fragrance that you'll be like, wow, where'd this floral fragrance come from? It almost smells like you're smelling like Guerlain-like florals, okay? So I'm wearing Bleue today. I'm not comparing the two by any stretch, but there is this Guerlain floral vibe to it, okay? And then it changes again, and it goes through a base of oud and honey and smoke and cypriol. There's nagamata, there's patchouli, there's vetiver, there's resins, there's ambergris, there's musk. It's just such a complex scent, and this is kind of what Zoologist is all about to me. Challenging, tells a story. It's you know, that kind of vibe. So Moth definitely deserves to be on the list with the oud in the base. And then we've got number 36, another Roja. And this is called H, the exclusive pour Homme Parfum. And this is actually also discontinued, believe it or not. H, the exclusive pour Homme Parfum. And I'll do a full review on this one day. But in essence, this reminds me of a fougere-like fragrance, DNA, with oud. in the base, interestingly enough. And there's also this beautiful plum. There's that cistus note Roja loves using so much. There's plum, ambergris, oud, cedarwood, patchouli. Sorry, I dropped the cap. Get back here. Pepper, vetiver. It's good. God damn you. God damn you, Cap. You're going back on. Stop arguing with me. All right. Go back to your home. So that's H, the exclusive Pour Homme Parfum. All right, number 35 is a fragrance that right after M7 came out and had that oud note, this one kind of did something very similar. It was called Ormond Jane, Ormond Man. Now, I hear Ormond Woman is also very good, but I've never smelled it. And Ormond Man, there's the bottle. I like the bottle, very classy. This is a very easy to wear. This would be great for the office. It's a little bit too easy for me. I kind of get bored of this DNA, but it's got nice spicy notes. There's pink pepper and cardamom with oud and black hemlock, which is supposedly like this poisonous. It can be a poisonous plant, and it's in here with musk, sandalwood, vetiver, and cedar. And you know, for like a business meeting or something, you don't want to be offensive. It's okay. Ormond Jane Man is okay, but I haven't really found anything else from the house that wows me. I need to try that Taif Rose Extrait that Jonathan was raving about, but I don't want to blind buy it. Okay, next on the list we have let's see, number 34. We actually do have another Roja. And this time, it's the just regular Aoud, Roja Oud, the one that started it all. And, you know, you can see I put a pretty good dent in this little decant. It's very thick. It actually stained my shirt one day, so you cannot spray that on your clothes. And this would be higher if it wasn't for the fact that sometimes I get a headache wearing this. It kind of bothers me sometimes. And I think it's probably that big floral heart. The geranium, jasmine from grass, May rose, and ylang ylang plays up a big part of the fragrance with this lemon vervain-like top. It's a very strange fragrance. There's ambergris and oud and cedarwood, cinnamon, leathery notes, rhubarb, patchouli, nutmeg, saffron, sandalwood, and vanilla. Lots of saffron in here. So it's not bad. I won't buy a bottle, but I'll do a full review on it one day. And then, number 33, we've got another Roja, which is going to be Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And this is like a fruity rose fragrance made for summer, in my opinion. I think it's discontinued, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And it is really good. It's a very strange fragrance, though. Roja can sometimes do these fruity, complex fragrances very well, like he did with Oligarch, which I hear is now discontinued because of everything that's happening with Russia. And this is this aldehydic, floral, fruity, chypre style construction, like an oriental chypre with all kind of strange notes. Raspberry and strawberry, blackcurrant, plum, banana. What does that have to do with Saudi Arabia? Do they grow bananas in Saudi Arabia that I don't know about? And, you know, oud and leather and cacao and cotton candy in the bay. Just a very strange fragrance. But in the summer, it works. In the cold, it does not work for me. So I think you have to be very weather specific when you wear Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But in the summer, it can be a dazzler. And then we've got number 32, which I'm going to reach back and grab this bad boy. So this is Interlude Black Iris. This is the flanker to my baby Interlude, which is very high on this list. But Black Iris is the first flanker Amouage ever did. And I was so pissed off that they did a flanker. I didn't buy this when it came out. I was going to refuse to buy it. And then I saw some of the people talking about how great it is. And, you know, I think I saw Ashton saying, oh, he was kind of pissed off, but he was so glad he bought it. And I kind of agreed with that sentiment. And so, you know, I broke down and I bought it. And, you know, am I glad I have it? Yes. Am I glad I got it at a discount? Yes. For 200 bucks, it's not bad. I think you can find this for like 190 on fragrancebuy.ca or something. 180. That's okay. That's a good price. Don't give them full retail for this. It's nice, but this is Amouage living off of the past. You know, they should be creating new things, not living off of the past, in my opinion. But hey, the fish guy's in charge now. What do you expect? So that is Interlude Black Iris at number 32. Interlude with Black Iris. Number 31 is another Roja, and this is H the Exclusive Oud Parfum. I mean, the word Oud is right there in the title. And I will do a video on this soon. I don't think I've talked about this very much on the channel. I have enough juice to wear it and talk about it still. And this is a good fragrance. This is very underrated. No one talks about this one. No one. H the Exclusive Oud Parfum. And there's this oregano note, speaking of interlude, there's this oregano note in the top here, which I'm learning I actually really like, with geranium, jasmine from grass, May rose, oud, valerian, benzoin, birch, labdanum, nutmeg, patchouli, vetiver, cypriol, and guardium balsam. Very similar base on these Roja Middle Eastern frags over and over and over. But I do really like the birch, I must admit. The birch, the smoky birch adds a great element to this with that cypriol. That's a 1-2 punch I'm a big fan of with the oud. Okay, next on the list, number 30. So we're halfway there. Number 30 is an Amouage again, and this is Royal Tobacco. This is the new one that they're hyping. And you know what? It's okay. It's not bad. It's like this... it's like this oily, you know, I did a video on it. You can go check it out. But it's almost like this oily, licoricey, which I like, tobacco, with lots of resins in the base. Myrrh, Peru balsam, birch tar. There is Assam oud in the base. That's why it's here. With vetiver and musk and gaiac wood and benzoin and labdanum and all this other stuff. Osmanthus. And, you know, it's okay. It's... I'm not going to buy a bottle, but it's okay. It's better than some of the stuff Amouage has been releasing lately. And then we have number 29. And there's actually a video of this on my channel already. This is Roja's Amber Oud Parfum. So go check it out. I think we had like a father-daughter dance that day, so I'm kind of all dressed up. But Amber Oud Parfum is okay. It's good. It's probably the best of the trio. That's why it's here. Nice amber with fig. There's an interesting fruity note of fig, if memory serves, with oud and birch. It's a little smoky. It's got that ambergris, oud, birch, cinnamon, musk, oak moss, iris, patchouli, saffron, sandalwood, benzoin thing in the base going on. And it's good. It's a floral, oriental, ambery take on that Aoud profile. It's not bad. I wouldn't buy a bottle, but I like it. And then one of the hidden gems that many people think maybe is a little cheap, or they, you know, think because it's 40 bucks or something, it's not good. I really like this, and I think this is a great replacement for someone that doesn't want to, you know, spend the money on Tom Ford Oud Wood or something like that. This is Versace Pour Homme Oud Noir. And rumor was this was discontinued for the longest time. Apparently it's not. So apparently you can go buy this right now for 40 bucks or something on fragrancebuy.ca. And I like this. I enjoy wearing this. Yes, it's designer. Yes, it's got that fake oud note in there, but damn it, I love it. It's peppery. It's got a little bit of freshness from neroli in the top. It's got that frankincense accord with saffron, oud, patchouli, and this leather wood note in the base, which makes it very unique. So for 40 bucks. This is a good perfume. Very good. Don't overlook that one. Okay, next on the list, we've got number 20. That was number 28. Number 27 is a Bond number 9, a house I don't talk about very much on the channel. And I have my reasons, but I do like this one. I think this is a good one. This is Initio Oud. So Initio Oud is probably one of my favorite Bond number 9s, and this is one of the few fragrances in my collection. I wish I bought 100 ml instead of 50 ml. Le Lion is another one. I wish I bought the 200 ml rather than the 75 ml, but I wish I bought the 100 ml of this. This is a great Oud fragrance with, here's the note listing. Red plum, saffron, orange zest, oud rose, iris, patchouli, musk, honey, and vetiver. And it's that honeyed, plum-like red rose with oud that just sets it off with this posh iris. This powdery iris that is just gorgeous. I love this stuff. I'm a huge fan of Initio Oud. Probably one of my favorite from the house. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's damn close. And then we've got another Roja, and this is Majestic Oud Parfum. This is how Roja's samples used to come back in the day before they came in these little posh boxes. So Majestic Oud Parfum, I have a full review up on the channel. You can go check it out. I've worn the piss out of this fragrance, and I put a dent in all of my decants. And it is a good fragrance. It's kind of focusing, go check out my review, but it focuses more on the floral. Osmanthus is a big player in this fragrance, and so is that oriental take. There's some animalics, castoreum and civet. That's probably why it keeps my attention so well, but I do really like this. It's discontinued. There's a bottle on eBay right now for $5 grand if anyone wants to sell a kidney, but don't do it. Do not do that. You're an absolute pervert if you spend $5 grand on that. I don't care how much money you have. Don't do it. Okay, next we've got a Serge Lutens at number 25. This is La Couche du Diable. And I wish I had a bottle of this, but I just refused to buy the new Serge Lutens, so can't buy a bottle of this because it only came in the new Serge Lutens bottles. But La Couche du Diable is basically this vinegary Cistus labdanum oudy fragrance. Okay, that's the scent, and that original vinegariness kind of put me off at first, but I've accepted it now. A resinous and smoky and slightly leathery. I think this is probably the best modern Serge Lutens release they've come out with in years and years and years. 2019 that came out. So that's number 25. Number 24. Number 24 is a Louis Vuitton. And again, I don't think Louis Vuitton uses real oud, but please correct me if they do. Let me know, but I'm under the impression that their oud is not real oud. But I could be wrong. You know, it's an LVMH brand. At least not this one that I'm showing. I think they have one that they do claim to use real oud called Pure Oud. That's like $1,800 or something silly, or $1,500 or $1,200 or whatever it is. But this is Ombre Nomad. And this is a decant I got off a friend. And you know what? I like this. I like this a lot. It's oud, benzoin, frankincense, and raspberry, and the wisps of incense and the fruity raspberry, you know. And the thing is Jacques Cavalier, worked on Tuscan leather, which is probably one of the most infamous raspberry uses. And you get some of that Tuscan leather raspberry here in Ombre Nomad. I think it's a great oud fragrance. Wish I had a full bottle, but I'm not going to splurge on a full bottle. There's no need. I'm happy with my little decant. You know, I'll wear it till it's gone and do a full review on it, and that'll be that. One that I am going to get a full bottle of, though, damn it. I have been smitten with this fragrance. I've been spraying it every night, almost, for the last couple nights. And I'm in love with this fragrance. And I tried to be objective. This could even be higher on the list. The only thing is, I don't know if there's oud in this perfume, because the brand doesn't list notes. So I don't know if there's any oud, but I'm guessing there's oud in here. This is from the house of Orto Parisi, and it's called Sturdkiss. So Sturdkiss comes in at number 23, and my God, there is something about this that is just so intoxicating. I have no clue what the notes are. Again, not a clue. Not a clue at all. This animalic, leathery, woody, probably lots of amber woods, or whatever you want to call it. But whatever the case may be, whatever's in here, I love it. So Sturdkiss there will be a bottle of Sturdkiss in my possession very soon. And then we've got number 22, and one of the best Demachi flankers out there. And you guys know what's coming. You probably do if you're a Demachi fan. This is Fahrenheit Absolute. The dark Fahrenheit with the oud and the myrrh. And, I really like the way Demachi uses myrrh. You can see right there, oud wood. This is really good. I need to wear this soon. There's just so many fragrances, so little time. But it's myrrh, violet. It still has a little bit of that gasoline opening, but not as much as the original. The opening feels more purple, more violet-y than gasoline-y. With leather, frankincense, and oud, and this oriental base incense. It's a good take on Fahrenheit, and I like it way better than the Parfum version. The Parfum version is too sweet with that vanilla for me. And then, next on the list, we've got number 21, and it is the OG. Probably many people would put this higher. My wife would put this at number 1. This is her favorite fragrance on me. She used to make me wear this all the time. I've since kind of just saved the last couple drops, but I'll wear it again one day soon. This is Tom Ford's Oud Wood. The one that kind of started the craze. I got enough for another wear, huh? What do you think? Oud Wood is one of my favorite cardamom fragrances. So it's basically cardamom with rosewood and oud, and sandalwood, spices, amber, and Sichuan pepper. And this just kind of set off this, oud chain reaction when this came out in 2007. Tom Ford, of course, had something to do with M7 in 2002, which is higher on the list than this for me. But again, women love that. My wife loves that fragrance on me. It gets kind of old and boring once you've worn. I wore the whole damn bottle. This was not a partial. This was full. I wore the whole damn thing. So yes, Oud Wood comes in at number 21. Number 20 is a Clive Christian. And speaking of Tuscan leather and Tom Ford, you've got Ostrich Bucks, me lord. C for men, which has an oud note in the base. And I do really love this. Really, really, really love this. I remember one day I sprayed this so much, the whole house just smelled of this for days. This is a beast fragrance. You could think of it as Tuscan leather intense if you wanted to, because it kind of is. There are some differences. It's got tea, mate tea, elemi, orris, rose, raspberry, clove, jasmine, cardamom, rose, saffron, cinnamon, cistus, amber, tree moss, costus, skunk wood, leather, musk, oud, styrax, tobacco, tonka, vanilla, frankincense, cedar, and cypress. And I do love this stuff, man. I mean, I won't buy another bottle. You can see I've got about, I don't know. This was a 50 mil. Is this a 50 mil? Yeah, it's a 50 mil. So I've probably got 30 mils left. But I'll cherish this. I'll wear it this winter and enjoy it. I love this stuff. And then we've got at number 19, we've got an Amouage. And this is a 20... how old are you? 2018 release. Pierre Negrin put this out. This is coming towards the end of Christopher Chong's reign. This is Opus 11. So Opus 11, the other blue beast, if you will, marjoram, oud, styrax, and wood leather. And wood leather, interestingly enough, is a captive molecule, I think. I think it's a captive molecule that is only used in a couple other perfumes. And one of them is Gucci Guilty Absolute. And guess what this smells like? You got it. Gucci Guilty Absolute. There is a big Gucci Guilty Absolute smell. There's also a flanker of Philipp Plein No Limits called Philipp Plein Super Fresh that uses this wood leather, whatever you want to call it, ingredient. But I do like this. I enjoy it. It's almost like, I think of this as like my backup bottle of Gucci Guilty Absolute. There's no reason for me to go get a backup since I have however much juice is left there. It's about right there. So, you know, what is that, 90 mils? This is a tester. I have another tester on the way. Even though I hate that there's no stand on these testers, the price difference was so great on the other Opus that I wanted. I just couldn't you know, it wasn't worth paying an extra $150 for a stand. So, there you go. Opus 11 is number 19. Number 18. I've worn this to bed a couple times since I've got it. I really like this. I am almost somewhat interested in checking out the rest of the brand, but I doubt I'll get such a fair price on the rest of the brand, so I don't think I will. I think I got the good one anyways. This is Bulgari's Falkar. So Falkar is kind of like one of Bulgari's Les Gemmes, the gems line. And so you can see, nice box. I love these kind of boxes I can just throw in my bag and take with me to work. And that's how it kind of sits. There's a little booklet right here about it. And here's the bottle. And at first, when I saw these bottles on, you know, when I saw these bottles on, you know, YouTube or eBay or something, people holding them, they don't look very good, do they? But in the hand, interestingly enough, and then they've got the little gem on top. Okay, so they do have this this special stone or whatever they want to call it on top. And this is actually a magnetic cap, which is kind of cool, okay? In person, the bottle has grown on me. It looks cheap, and the plastic is cheap. There's no doubt about that. This is cheap-ass plastic. But the whole concept, the design is cool, okay? The magnetic cap is addictive, and you can hold it by the cap and not worry about it. Strong magnet, good. And this is basically a black musk, saffron, leather, and Bangladeshian oud fragrance that is compared to a fragrance I've never smelled called Oud Rosewood. Never smelled Oud Rosewood, but this is compared to it apparently. But there's no leather in Oud Rosewood, so I don't understand how it can be compared to something that doesn't even have leather, but to each their own. I'll you know, maybe one day I'll smell it and I'll tell you guys if that's true or not. But I like this. I've worn it a couple times to bed, and I'll make it my scent of the day very soon. So that's Bulgari's Falkar. All right, let me put you away. These boxes, man. I wish they made them easier to... Jesus H. Christ. There we go. Wait a minute. No, there we go. Okay. So that was number 18. Number 17 is a fragrance I actually did a video on yesterday. You can go check it out. And you could put 56 here as well. You could put Epic 56. You could put Epic Woman EDP. You could put Epic X-Ray. Whatever Epic Woman version you have, I think would fit here at number 17. Epic Woman. Epic Woman truly is epic. It is so beautiful. I wore it yesterday as my scent of the day. I did a comparison between Epic EDP, and someone sent me a couple drops very kindly of the new 56, Epic 56. And this is really, really good. Cumin and pink pepper, cinnamon with damask rose, geranium jasmine tea, amber, gaiac wood, iris, musk, oud, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, and frankincense. And you know, that tea note reminds me a little bit of Silver Mountain water. If you miss the good old tea days of the 90s, very very calming and soothing, and yet it's an amouage. So it has that, you know, cumin challenging bit in the top, but it's not too off-putting. I could easily wear this to work with, you know, the oud in the base with the beautiful iris. It's just a stunner. I love this stuff. Epic Woman. Okay, next on the list, we have number 16. And, you know, there's no oud note listed in Parfumo, so I'm taking the, I'm calling, you know, channel owner privilege here, and I'm putting it here, because I think there's oud in it. And it is Dior Homme Parfum. So I think there's oud in Dior Homme Parfum, or oud. And this is Florentine Iris, Ceylonese Sandalwood, Leather, and what I'm calling an oud accord. It is beautiful, man. It really is. Actually, I'm looking right here. There's a little pound oud right next to it. So even though there's no oud listed, I think a lot of people think there's oud in here, in the Parfum. And someone recently reported back, they thought the 75 ml and the 100 ml bottles smelled completely different. I've never smelled the 100 mils. This is the old 75 ml. This is a 2007 bottle, I think. 7Q02. Man, I love this fragrance. I need to wear it soon. So many fragrances to wear. So little time. Dior Homme Parfum, number 16. Number 15 is a Histoires de Parfum. And this is called Rare Fidelis. In that beautiful bottle right here. This is also a Julian Rasquinet. If you don't want to spend the money on the moon and you want to get an idea of Julian Rasquinet's DNA, check out Rare Fidelis or check out Perfect Tobacco. That'll give you an idea of kind of his DNA, if you will, how he works, how he creates his fragrances. Rare Fidelis is cardamom, coffee, Guatemalan coffee, saffron, cumin, rose, absolute, raspberry, patchouli, amber, and Laotian oud. And the fragrance is extremely strong. This is a big beast mode scent. And one of my favorite coffees, actually. The oud is beautiful. Again, I don't know if Histoires de Parfum uses real oud or not, but I'm putting them in this list because, I mean, you can get this little 15 mil right here for like 25 bucks. What a steal. I'm a big fan of the 15 mil bottles that this house does. Okay, next on the list we have a Nasomato at number 14. And it is Black Afghano. Black Afghano, Mark from the Robes OH channel. I remember in 2009 when he discovered this for the first time, the look on his face, man. And this is a I don't want to say challenging, but it's a dark. Again, Nasomato doesn't publish notes. But it feels like there's cannabis in the top with resins, maybe a little bit of coffee, tobacco, incense, and oud. That's kind of the vibe that you get. Black leather jacket on a motorcycle, riding off into the sunset. Okay? That's the feeling of Black Afghano. Rebel. Okay. Number 13 is a Roja. Highest Roja on the list, I think. And this is Sultanate of Oman. Now, this focuses a little bit more on the frankincense, but I love how dry, this dry papyrus, elemi, you know, resinous elemi type feel that is in Sultanate of Oman. It is beautiful. I mean, the oud is definitely there in the base with the frankincense, but it's one of my favorite Rojas in that Middle Eastern line. Number 12. Number 12 is actually another Histoires de Parfum fragrance. And this is a amber. It's an amber oud. It's actually one of my favorite ambers. And it's called Ambram. I don't know how to pronounce that, but Ambram from Histoires de Parfum. It's this animalic resinous. There's castoreum, and there is oud in here, and amber. So imagine like a animalic amber with oud. One of my favorite ambers I've discovered. Actually, I've been hunting this bottle forever, and the only reason I found it is because someone misspelled it on eBay, and I was lucky enough to find it. I still paid a lot of money for it, but I was all over it. I've never bought a bottle so fast in my life. It came from Israel, but man, I love this stuff. I love, this is probably my favorite from this line. Maybe Rare Fidelis, but they're kind of neck and neck. So, okay, next on the list, we have number 11, and it's another Louis Vuitton, my favorite Louis Vuitton, and it's Nuit de Feu. Nuit de Feu. So Nuit de Feu is this frankincense, lots of smoke, Somalian frankincense and black frankincense in here, with incense, leather, ambrette, musk, and Assam oud. Okay, so that's kind of the scent profile. Smoky, leathery, my kind of scent. Dark, smoky, leathery incense with that oud backbone. Really good. Big fan of Nuit de Feu. I would love a bottle, but I don't want to pay Louis Vuitton prices, so I have a decant. Okay, next is a diptyque, and this is Oud Palau. So this could easily be number 1 on many's lists. I love Oud Palau. It's this woody oriental, rose, Laotian oud, bourbon vanilla, Indonesian patchouli, sandalwood, Nagamatha, Somalian frankincense, and Spanish Cistus labdanum. Excuse me. If you wanted, man, talking for an hour straight just completely dries your throat out. If you wanted a $100 fragrance that smells like it has real oud in it, Oud Palau is where I'd point you. Great starter, great rose oud starter. And then we've got top 10. Well, that was number 10. Number 9 is an Amouage, and it is Epic Man. So Epic Man comes in at number 9 over Epic Woman. Because of the memories that I have with this, there is something very special about Epic Man to me. It's cardamom, saffron, God, that smell. Nutmeg, pink pepper, frankincense, myrtle, mace, geranium, myrrh, leather, oud, patchouli, frankincense, castoreum, sandalwood, cedarwood, and musk. And someone asked me what this smells like the other day. And I said, imagine that you have like a campfire going and you take some like spices and sprinkle them on the fire, and you're out in the desert, and you know, you're riding camels through the desert in the middle of the night. That's why you have a campfire going. There's a camel caravan behind you, and whenever the spices go up in flames, they turn this emerald green, okay? That's the feeling of Epic Man to me. Beautiful fragrance. Lasts all day on me. I know people say the new stuff doesn't last, which is a shame if that's true. They say the same thing about many of the Amouages that now say the name down here below, because these older bottles that either said them on the side or didn't say them at all, except right here on the, you know, collar, these things lasted all day. And if you can find one that was non-magnetic cap, forget about it. It's days on your clothes, days on your skin. So, yes, and I think the castoreum was amped up on the ones that didn't have the magnetic cap. But this is still a great version. Just avoid the one that says Epic down here on the bottle. Okay, next on the list we have number 8. And number 8 is a Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And this is the original Oud. EDP, not the X-ray, the EDP. And the EDP is an absolute beast. There is something in this that will last you, if it gets on your clothes, forget about it. It's months. You're going to smell this. If this gets on a jacket, because it's cold and you wear this and it touches the collar of your jacket, that's it. It's over. It's done. That jacket is now the MFK Oud jacket. It is so strong. And there's this saffron note that is very prominent with patchouli, Atlas cedar, elemi, and Laotian oud. So again, MFK is one of those houses that I don't think they use real oud, but you know, if they do, someone let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever heard MFK claim to use real oud. And then we've got another Tom Ford. This is number 7. This is Tobacco Oud. So Tobacco Oud is discontinued, believe it or not. So I'm really happy to find this bottle. This is a bottle from a while back, A24. Just a blessing to have this. And if you're looking for this, get it while you can, because rumor is it's done. It's discontinued, or it will be very soon. I love Tobacco Oud. Tobacco Oud has this, liqueured tobacco, like, maybe like Middle Eastern tobacco feeling to it. Maybe a little bit of hookah, liqueur, hookah. It's got that celebratory, ambery, amber extreme or whatever. Not amber extreme. What's Tom Ford's amber? Amber Absolute, everyone loves. I've never smelled that one, but they say it's a lot like Tobacco Oud, or Tobacco Oud is a lot like Amber Absolute. And then we've got number 6. And number 6 is the Blue Beast, the original Blue Beast from 2012. Interlude, man. I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. You talk about a fragrance that lasts all day. My God, man. I mean, what a scent. I need to wear this again soon. Interlude, it just... the oregano, the amber, the apopanax, the frankincense, the oud, the leather, the patchouli, the sandalwood. Smoky and spicy, and I mean, it really feels like you are in like an opium tent. Like you're just, people just, smoking, smoke rising, incense burning. You're in the tent. What a creation Interlude, man, is. I love it. Absolutely love it. And luckily, that does not make me angry. Like I've heard some people say Interlude makes them angry. Not for me. I love Interlude. Number 5, top 5. We've got a Dior at number 5, and it is the Great Leather Oud. So, if you don't want to splurge on Leather Oud, but you want that DNA, this is where I would tell you to go get One Man Show Oud Edition. These two are very close, okay? This obviously doesn't use the quality of ingredients as the Dior, but this is a 2017 bottle, I think. Where's the batch code? Sorry, 2018. So it's like the first year they reformulated it. And I have no problems with this. I love this stuff. Love to smell the new one, but I'm happy with this, to be honest with you. Leather Oud is amazing. I'm a big fan. Number 5. Number 4 is the Amouage of all Amouages. It is Jubilation 25. Now, what can you say about the Amouage of all Amouages other than it's a kingly scent? I mean, it really is the gift of kings. Blackberry and honey and Apopanax and resins and patchouli, oak moss, bay leaf with that oud in the base. I mean, this is easily signature scent worthy. Jubilation 25 for men is one of the greatest masculines of all time, in my opinion. And then we've got number 3, and number 3 is the aforementioned M7, the original from 2002. And I know people are going to say, well, this doesn't deserve to be here. It doesn't have the pedigree of some of the stuff that is around it, and that's true. It's a designer. I mean, what do you expect? It's a designer. But what a designer it is. I love wearing it. You know, there's the shortened ingredient list. It's just a blessing to wear this. I absolutely love M7, and will cherish every wearing of that. It's got that oud, ambery, you know, cola vibe with this orangey rose. The rosemary kind of keeps it a little bit masculine, you know. I'm a big fan of that. Last 2. Number 2 is actually an amouage that I found very recently, and as you know, I give the new fish guy a hard time, but this is his best creation by far, hands down, no questions asked. This is Silver Oud, and this is the newer packaging. And, you know, I wore this out and about, and it didn't seem as strong as the older bottles that... But, you know, also sometimes you gotta let a little bit of air in the bottle. So I went back and forth. Do I spend $270 on an older bottle, or do I spend $350 and get, you know, 100 mils instead of 50 mils? So I went for the 100 mil. I do like the new bottle. I'm just worried about the juice inside. If it is up to snuff, and again, I only wore it once, it just seemed a little lighter than my decant, which is from an older bottle. So hopefully it's just the bottle hasn't, you know, let some air into it and it gets stronger. But, man, Silver Oud is amazing. Cypriol, Assam Oud, Birch, Castoreum, Gaiac Wood, Amber Rome, Bourbon Vanilla, Virginia Cedar. It's just one of the best designer ouds I've ever smelled. And again, I don't think Amouage is claiming they use real oud here, but I don't know. So if they do, somebody do let me know, and I'll make a note on the video, but I don't think I've ever seen Amouage claim they use real oud. And number 1, and this is a personal one for me, okay? So this is a personal one. You know, you guys will probably laugh at this, but this is here for me. This is the best designer oud for me. Western oud, if you will. Embellished oud, whatever the hell you want to call it. This stuff for me is just perfection, because I wore the shit out of this. I have so many memories attached to this. This is my second flacon, okay? The first one was only 250 mils, but this is my second flacon. Think about how much I've worn this. This is Creed's Royal Oud at number 1. So this is a 500 mil. Look at this. It's like the size of my head. Creed's Royal Oud is a Julian Rascanet creation, bergamot, pink pepper, lemon, angelica, galbanum, Lebanon, cedar, musk, oud, and sandalwood. And it will remind you a little bit of French Lover by Frederic Malle, if you smelled that. But this doesn't get as rooty and earthy to me. That angelica galbanum combination is out of this world. You know, with the woods. Should it be called Royal Cedar? Maybe. But for me, this is the perfect Western oud. So, Royal Oud by Creed. Thank you for watching, everybody. Let me know what your favorites are. I know I left some out, obviously, but hell, a top 60. There's only so much I can do. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are on the countdown. Let me know what your favorite Western ouds are. And look forward to seeing your faces in the comments below. Cheers, guys. Bye now.